wind bands that have come through here. And first, so I've been very attentive to Hermes through this. If you guys are wondering why I didn't come on, it's not because I have to evacuate. I don't know who's heard that somebody says that I had to evacuate or something like that, getting everybody all nervous about me. Don't worry. Hey, Vicky, if I do go out, it's because my power is going down. Just stick with me. Actually, you know what? Give me a moment. I'm going to switch it back over to well, I'll leave it on here. We only have like one power outage, like maybe every hour or something like that. So if I do go down, it's only because the internet box has powered off because the electric went out, and it takes a few moments for it to pick up on 5G to come back on. Now I can switch over to 5G, but I only got 2 bars in the house. And with Hurricane, everybody is always on their internet, their phone. We've already got some people in our county that are already without power. As you guys can see, I've got power. The power's been going in and out. It wasn't like this. It's only been doing this for like the last, I don't know, hour and a half. The first power outage, and it went down for about 3 minutes. And that was about 2 hours ago. Hey, Kendra, it's nice to see you. So, hey, we already got some people in here. Vicky, it's nice to see you. Southern Karma, our beautiful Sonia's up in the house. Big Back Mike, Kendra, SAR. It's nice to see you, Chris, Mr. and Mrs. Car Guy. Yes, I'm being safe. Sonia, Metal Ass, Lisa P, it's nice to see you. Denise, Second Thesis, Phil, Truth in Time, Tammy, it's nice to see you all. Melanie, Salty Mama, it's nice to see you. Kind, hopefully I spelled that kind, maybe? I don't know, hopefully I said your name right. I'm bad with names. There we go again, guys, we're going to be on. Give me a minute. I'm going to check to 5G. Hopefully it picks up on 5G. I don't know. We're back. I'm only rolling with 5G right now. I'm not going to put it back on the home internet because it's just going to keep falling. Hopefully you guys didn't lose me too bad, but we've got the power is going out here. Again, I'm not dealing with any type of flooding conditions just yet. We're dealing with a lot of rain. It just keeps going in and out. So I have a funny feeling I'm probably gonna, this is the first time we've had this much power going on and coming off, going on and coming off. So I don't know if they're moving people's power on the power thing and, resetting and reallocating. I don't know. I don't know the power grid. Hopefully this is not the last of our electricity. That would suck. But this is kind of where we're at. Let there be light. So I figured, I figured if I'm going to go live, now would be the time to go live, because if I wait too much longer, I mean, Delilah's been in a little bit, she's been between nervous and sleepy today. So I've been just trying to, because this is her first hurricane, with all the weird noises and wind whipping and things like that. But it really is just wind, because I just went out there and got my mail. Mail ran today. So I just went out there and got my mail, and it was just windy. My backyard, that's where the trees are. It's starting to look a little rough back there. I already looked back there, and some of the prior fence panels that fell that weren't secure have fallen back over, so it's not going to be a huge deal. But it's nice to see everybody. We're riding out Hurricane Helene. I'm riding it out at home. Again, I've been hearing some people were reaching out to me. Thank you, Phil. God bless you for that. Thank you. Some people were, I guess passing around that I had to flee or evacuate. I'm not in the evacuation areas. Even if I was in the evacuation areas, I don't evacuate. I just don't. This house has been here since 1962. It's to me, it seems like it's a seasoned hurricane home. I don't know about you, but it seems pretty seasoned to me. So I feel safe here. I feel safe. Like the hurricanes of Florida hasn't knocked it over since 1962. I feel comfortable, Mom wanted me to go over to her house. Guidance reached out to me and said if anything gets, bad, to come her way, because she's further south and this is hitting further north. But so far, I thought I'd come on here and let you guys know I'm surviving. We're riding it out. Just Delilah and myself. I've already made. I decided to make some food before, just in case. Keep your eyes on Jesus in the storm. Thank you, Susie Sue. God bless you. Renee, it's nice to see you. Yes, it's not. It's a nice, strong house. A little choppy. I mean, I prefer. I mean, for the. I'm gonna be. This is not my forever home. I can promise you that. But once I leave here, whatever home I'm buying next, it's gonna be my forever home. I do not move. I've moved. I'm not a mover. Okay, I'm just not a mover. I like stabilization. I've only owned 2 houses. This is my second house. The third house, that's it for me. It better be my dream home because I'm not moving into it until it is. South Carolina mountains might be flooded. Wow. Yeah, the after effects of this and where it's going. The good news is they're not going to be getting the hurricane well, they do have very high winds. Even the stuff that they're going to be receiving in Georgia and stuff like that are going to be at least 80-mile-an-hour winds, for places that aren't used to those types of winds. It's not good. But what really frustrates me in Florida, unless you're lying near water, in my opinion, don't get on the roads. If you've got a newer construction, if you've got construction that's 2006 or newer, your homes are built for this weather. Hey, Cheeky Chops, it's nice to see you. Your homes are built for this weather. The Florida code here in Florida, when they build homes nowadays, one of the reasons why the costs are a lot higher here is because they build them for hurricane forced winds. So I think every house is graded for 150-mile-an-hour winds, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that, but it's hurricane force winds. Sometimes people get injured leaving than if they were to just stay. Now, that does not mean for the evacuation areas, your lower lying areas. The first areas that are evacuated is all the beach areas, the houses on the beach and islands, and the mobile homes. The mobile homes, some of the modular homes now are built like homes, like regular homes to handle certain forces of hurricanes. So the modular homes aren't too bad. However, the mobile homes, those tear apart like little cans, like a can on a can opener. It just you're not safe in those homes. And that's what was all down in Fort Myers when we went down there. And that was what was so sad, is because they had a lot of mobile home parks right there on the beach. I mean, a lot of them. And they're all old mobile home parks. So a lot of people weren't even paying the top price of being right on a beach, And a lot of those residents had alcohol problems and other things, especially in some areas. It was a part, like they just, that's why they were there. And a lot of them lost their life, and it was really sad because one guy was telling us, this lady, she had her dog in one hand and her beer in the other as she's floating. So I always say, if you're in a lower lying area, if you're going to be in your home and you don't know what to expect, if you have a boat or life preservers, bring them inside, because if it does get to the point where there is water rising, say 8 feet, you need to be able to float with that rising water. And it's hard when you're having to tread water for an hour, let alone 8 or 9. So if you can, bring in your life preservers. But so far, I'm doing well. Nothing major here so far. Knock on wood, say a prayer for everybody in Florida, or anybody in the path of Mother Nature. Mother Nature is brutal. It does brutal things. But some of a lot of the injuries that we've received that are life-threatening are from electrocution, okay? So if you are in a flood area, do not stand in standing water. There's rubber boots. Those rubber boots, repel electricity, believe it or not, but they have to be rubber boots. And those rubber boots, if you do have to go out, please make sure you're wearing rubber boots or rubber sole shoes. That will help. If you're standing in water, nothing's going to help you unless you have that rubber boot up as far as the water is. Okay, so what happens is people go outside to check something out and they don't realize there's a live electrical wire that has been torn down and is hitting the water, and they are electrocuted as a result. Some are hit by lightning, but a lot of ours, believe it or not, is not from trees falling on them, houses crumbling, getting taken away with the wind, drowning, or anything else. In our area, most people lose their life due to electrocution. So, Bobby, my mom is in Palmetto. Oh, okay. Well, that's further north. You know, I'm sure they're probably experienced. Well, it's still the northern tip of Manatee County, and they're probably experienced the same type of winds I'm experiencing here. Depending on whether they're on Peace River or Florida Power and Light, they may have already lost power. Peace River sucks. Every time you sneeze, they lose power out there in Peace River. So, so far, I haven't heard of any fatalities. I haven't heard of any property damage just yet. We have a little bit of ways to go because it's not going to be getting past our area until later this evening. It was supposed to be kind of, I haven't been watching the news. It just doesn't do me any good. I look out the window. I gauge the threat by the peering out the window. I'm not watching the news. Okay? Because I truly don't believe this is going to be a Category 4 when it hits the bend. But they've got people scared half to death, you know, all up and down Florida, that it's going to be a Category 4 by the time it hits the bend. I don't believe that to be the case. I do believe it's going to bring a lot of wind and a lot of nastiness with it, and I pray for all the people in the direct path of this hurricane. These are not comfortable, but most people survive. They just go without power. They go without water. So as soon as we find out where the true hit is and where the need is, you know, we'll assess this situation. Many of you guys know, even though we do cover true crime, this is a channel of philanthropy. And so if there's an area that needs help, that needs clearing, that needs help getting, you know, people to safety and stuff like that, we gear up and go out there and assist as well. If there's a place for us to donate water, food to certain areas, we will raise that. We will make sure that we get some stuff there from the Bullhorn Betty channel. We do this every year. Anytime there's a hurricane, we are there. If it's in Florida, we're there. So we were very shocked to see the devastation the last time in Fort Myers. Fort Myers Beach was, it is a sight that will forever shake me. I will tell you that. Seeing a big, huge ship sitting in the middle of a major roadway with a propeller bigger than half the houses on Fort Myers Beach was a pretty awakening experience, even for somebody that has been through hurricanes my whole life. You know, it wasn't until that moment that I truly understood what storm surge was and how devastating it is. There were a lot of lives that were lost in Fort Myers on Fort Myers Beach. A lot of lives lost. And the reason why, it's not really, in all fairness, their fault. We were preparing further north. So the hit was projected to hit Tampa. Obviously, that's it's a lot further away than Fort Myers. And something happened and it took a turn, and Fort Myers had less than 24 hours to prepare for a direct hit. It was, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it because I remember how it all happened. And so as the hurricane was, there was a lot of hurricane damage. It had already passed, but there was a lot of rising water still in Northport. So Olivia and I got out there in our wading gear, and we helped as many people and as many animals as we could to safety before we proceeded further down south to Fort Myers Beach. We were able to get to where the media was allowed to enter. There was certain, like on this side of Lee County, we could enter, we could go past where the public could. And so we were in the media area looking at all the devastation, walking the streets with all these boats and everything in the middle of the road. I mean, buildings that there was a 3-story building at a marina that was literally being held up by one piece of metal that just happened to bend and just hit the ground right. I mean, this whole building was just, it was, like I said, it was something very scary that I deal with hurricanes every year, and I've always felt, safe for the most part in the home, and I've never really fled or evacuated ever. But I've never seen the type of damage or devastation that I saw in Fort Myers. That was jaw-dropping and eye-opening. And actually, you know what? As a matter of fact, I think after this, I'll show you guys some of the images. You guys will be very shocked about what it is. But again, we're going to be going out as soon as we know where the need is, where the hit was, what kind of supplies are needed. Usually water is always needed, but there's, like the last time down in Fort Myers, they had so much water. They told us not to worry with water, just to bring food and supplies. You got to think of other things. You got to think of toilet paper. You got to think of feminine hygiene products, okay? Because people that lose everything, but your body still functions the same. So we picked up that. And the other thing is, I know everybody unloads their tomato soup at times like this. Please understand, a lot of people unload tomato soup. There was literally a request for other types of soup than tomato. So if we do that, I never buy tomato soup, and only if water is necessary do we supply water. Toothpaste, soap, shampoo, toothbrush, that's exactly it. But I can't take that to food drop-off donations. And the clothing and stuff like that, but I can put feminine products there because that's part of, you can buy that at the grocery store. So I do that. I know the last time we were out there, they did have a tied a couple tied semis out there. So, everybody does work together and get as much resources out there as possible. So we'll see where it hits and where we're needed. If we're needed somewhere in this community, we will go. If we can't, we will send somebody with some money to go do it on our behalf. Everything's been taken care of as far as my Illinois trip. I'm still waiting on stuff for the Tennessee trip, and we should be good with that. So I'll have to manage time and the budget, because I've got to be back in Tennessee on the 10th. So we're going to try to do the best that we can. If you guys hear kids in Clearwater, normally up north in Alabama, other kids, if you guys can, let us know how other places are doing. Where is the storm heading now? It should be going up to the Big Bend of Florida. It should be up in the Big Bend of Florida. That's typically, we have a few. If you notice, you can kind of mark on our state. Our hurricanes like certain paths. They hit in different areas, but it's still the same directory. You can almost follow. It's either going to hit further down south, kind of middle of the road, or up in the north. I don't know why. But our pocket, Bradenton, Manatee County, has always been in this pocket. I think the closest we've come to a direct hit was in 1992 with Andrew. But we've never really had a direct hit here in Manatee County. Probably why I'm so comfortable here, because the most we've ever had was 2 feet of water in any area, and that was when I was a little girl in Bayshore Gardens. I remember walking in the road and having the water, clearing up to my chest. And I was just a little girl because we moved out of that house when I was three going on 4. So if that tells you how old I was at that time, I was anywhere between 2 and 3 when the floods those floods happened. But here we don't get too many flooding. Our drainage system, at least on this road, is pretty good. I was a little shocked that they didn't come out. Every year that we have hurricanes coming, part of their hurricane preparedness is going out and clearing out all of the drainage ditches. And I didn't see that happen this year, but it might have been because they did it last year. Maybe they do it every other year or something like that. I'm unsure. But it seems, so far everything's been good here. As you guys can see, I've got power. The power has been going in and out here at the homestead, but for the most part, it's just been wind. I don't really have a whole lot of rain here right now. We do have little spurts of torrential rain, but we have more wind than rain right now and right where I'm at. So I'm doing good, guys. I really appreciate everything. And so now that you guys know I'm alive and I didn't have to evacuate, I'm not running for my life, and I didn't float away. I'm not floating away, guys. No matter how much the hate channels manifest in their brain that I'm going to go away some way, somehow, we're going to still be here. And you know what? We're going to still be here talking about cases. So I'm not going to go too much on Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, because I really, if everything transpires the way it is and we keep power tonight, I want to do, oh, fan lady, it's nice to see you, my love. Hearts to you. If we do have the ability to do a live tonight, if the power and everything is still cooperating and the internet hasn't gone out or anything like that, then I'm going to we're going to continue down the same path that we went. We're at March 11th, and so actually we ended at March 17th. We kind of skipped ahead and went to another interview on the 17th, but we need to backtrack because a lot has happened from the 11th to the 17th, and we need to go back and read the articles that were going on at that time to give us a concept of what was going on when those interviews were happening. What was going on social media, what was going on in the news, what information were we missing. So I did want to give some updates on a few of the cases that we have been covering. We have been covering, but haven't covered in a little while. And the first one we're going to start out with is Rex Heuermann. Rex Heuermann is the Long Island serial killer, Gilgo Beach serial killer. He was originally arrested. Oh, thank you, Bobby. 5 gifted memberships. God bless you for that. Thank you. Okay, and Megan, I haven't seen you in a while. It's nice to see you. I personally can't complain about the rain this year because last summer it poured almost 2 months straight. It was awful. That's the way I feel every summer here in Florida, because almost daily we get rain, almost daily. So Rex Heuermann was originally, let me just step back for people that aren't familiar with the Long Island serial killer. So there was some bodies that ended up showing up. An escort was at a job, and something happened. She freaked out, and she ended up disappearing. Her name is Shannon Gilbert. And Shannon Gilbert was never found. She ended up being found, but she was never found for months. And so part of this canine training, this guy decided to take his dog out there just to see, what, if anything, while he was, doing some training with his dog. And his dog had a hit. And so that was when the first bodies started coming. Had it not been for Shannon Gilbert's death and this wild situation that happened where she's calling 911 and in fear for her life, I don't believe that the Gilgo girls would have been found, but they were. 4 of them ended up being found. A total, I think, of it was 10 total bodies that were found on that stretch of beach. I don't remember these specific details. Do your own research on the finite details on it. But long story short, after a bunch of work, there was a police commissioner, and the police commissioner was so corrupt he didn't want the FBI in and kept stalling. Hey, Justin, for all, I'm still here. I'm not floating away yet. I'm not floating away yet. But the power's going off and on. When we first started this live, it was a little creepy. It went on and off, on and off, on and off. And so, so far, I turned it to 5G. I'm not running it through the Wi-Fi, and lo and behold, the lights stay on. Isn't it funny how that happens? But as soon as I turn it back to the Wi-Fi, we're going to start having the power go in and out, and I'm going to start freezing again. So I'll just keep it the way it is. So, anyways, then they started looking into this police commissioner, which kind of threw the FBI out. Was a really crazy situation. And then a new police commissioner came in and vowed to get a team together to finally solve the Gilgo Beach murders after this corrupt police commissioner was booted on his butt. Long story short, they ended up finding out who it was due to a pizza box. They must have been, he must have been hitting all the right markers. For some reason, they must have had a tail on him in order for them to even retrieve the pizza box. But once they had the pizza and the crust that had DNA on it, they were able to attach this guy to 3 of the victims. They later tied him to the 4th one, Maureen Brainerd Barnes. And then there was 2 more, Taylor and Castillo, that were also added just recently. Now, with Sandra Castillo, there is a man that's in prison for killing 2 other sex workers, escorts, that had the same MO as Sandra Castillo, that's now challenging their conviction because she had wood chips on her. She was in the area as the same other 2. She was posed in almost the same exact way as the other 2 that this other man has been charged with. And that's kind of where we're at right now. Are there going to be more? I really do believe there will be, because everything that we know, like, I'm not a serial killer, you're not a serial killer, but there are people out there that understand this, as crazy as it sounds. But typically serial killers and everything that we understand and know is they don't really go dormant. They can. I mean, we've seen that in BTK. BTK, I think, went dormant for what, 20 years or 10 years or something like that. But it's hard because I feel like when the girls were found, he didn't change his behaviors, because that's one of the reasons why they made the arrest. I don't think they were prepared to make the arrest on Rex when they chose to make his arrest. I truly believe that they had to, because they feared another sex worker may be in jeopardy. I think that's what it was. So it makes you wonder if you know, leopards don't change their spots. So was he killing the entire 10 years that he stopped dumping bodies out at Gilgo Beach? It's possible. Now, these other 2 women that were added later were earlier victims of his. So they were from, if I'm not mistaken, the 90s. These other women were from, you know, late 2000s. So there's a 10-year stretch right there between those 2 women and these 4 women. So I'm curious to find out. It seems like he was really hot and heavy in the 90s and 2000s. Now, what happened from 2009 or 2010 to when did he get arrested? 2022 or 2023? Wasn't it 2023? My years are starting to blow together. Doesn't sound right. What is it? When was Rex Heuermann arrested? I have a funny feeling it was 2023. Where's my Wikipedia? Okay, on July 13th, 2023. And they said his murders are spanning from 1990s to 2011. From 1990 to 2011. So getting back to some of the stuff going on, we know that Asa Ellerup is his wife, and they have 2 children. She's filing for divorce, and she got a $1 million Peacock deal to for them to follow her life, and as she's going through this process with one of the most prolific serial killers of our time. He had a manifesto, a blueprint of how to do these cases, how to do these crimes, what to do. He wanted to torture people. He had a fetish for that. And then just recently, it sounds like he just sold his property in South Carolina to his brother for $1. Now, his brother's got to take over the mortgage, but still, his brother is a little weird too, you know? And I keep wondering, you know, he had homes in Las Vegas where there's sex workers. You're allowed to be a sex worker in Las Vegas. And it makes me wonder, you know, how many of those people didn't go home after his visit to the area. You know, we have got nobody from any other state that lost their life, yet this man traveled. We even have South Carolina. You know, are they looking in any of these any cases that meets his MO? I mean, it sounds like he liked to there for a while stage. You know, I don't know. So that was just one of the cases I wanted to make sure that we got updated on. Brian Kohberger, oh, that's not it. Brian Kohberger is going to be the next one that we're going to just give you guys an update on. As many of you guys know, Brian Kohberger has been successfully transferred over to Ada County Jail. He's now going to be presided over by a new judge, and his trial will be held in Boise, Idaho. They expect this to be a whopping 3-month trial. A 3-month trial. Like, holy smokies. Holy smokies. Does anyone think his daughter knew? There's been rumors about that. You know, I always believe, and people can call me crazy, but like many of, I always believe that it's something like a serial, the lights are going in and out, like a serial killer, I feel like has almost like a serial killer gene in them. I know that there may not be any medical yeah, that's just truly how I feel. Is it possible she's got that particular gene? I believe it is. You know. Yeah, my lights and stuff are flickering in and out. They've been flickering in and out. I think this is like hopefully this is about as worse as it's going to get, because we're already like 4 o'clock. They were kind of expecting it to be around the Tampa area around noon. I have to think by, 6 or 7 tonight, and that's, if I'm right, somebody's going to have to, let me do Hurricane Tracker and see where we are. I probably should have took unplug app because every time something goes out, oh, I can't use it on this phone. Shoot, but I can't use it. Yeah, my freaking internet keeps going out whenever the power goes down. I need to put that on a battery backup. That's probably really what I need to do, is put that on a battery backup. As soon as I can look at something, I will. But right now, everything's powering back up, so I don't have the weather tracker. Hey guys, it's nice to see you. They're popping in. I'm probably breaking up a little bit. If I'm breaking up, I really do apologize. Okay, let's see what we got here. Oh, wow. Okay, so the reason why is if, like, the hurricane is right across from me right now. That blue dot's me. It's that blue dot. And there's the hurricane. So that's why we got power outages right now. So it's, I think by 6 or 7 this afternoon, it'll be well. I mean, we'll still get some bands of it. But let me just show that to you. I don't know if I can, I don't know how I can see that. Can you guys see that? So that's where I'm at. All right, guys. Well, everything's going in and out here, as you guys can tell. I really just wanted to come on here and let you guys know that I was doing well and go over a few cases, but it's getting harder and harder to go over cases because my internet keeps going out. Let's see if I can do this again. There it is. So that's where I'm at, and I can't get on. I can get on the internet a little bit, but I can't really get on the internet because this is on the. This is not my. I use this to live stream just in case the power went out. I didn't want it to kick me off. Every time it kicks me off, it goes down for like 5 minutes. But don't worry about me. So far, so good. So far, everything is safe and sound. Me and Delilah are perfectly healthy and happy. There's a lot of wind, there's a lot of rain, but we're not getting as much rain here. We're getting more of the wind and the wind surge, not so much. I'm sure on the beaches they're getting hit with the water, but where I'm at in my county, I'm getting a lot of wind and not so much water. We hardly have any, like it's dry out there. But if you go out there, everything is blown to all over the place, you know. So just say prayers. You know, I'm safe. I know you guys keep saying prayers for me, but don't forget to say prayers for other people in Florida that aren't as lucky as me. Right now, by the grace of God, we have power. We've got internet. You know, Delilah's safe. This is her first hurricane. She's doing it like a champ. She's doing it like a champ. She's already got the process down pat. She just knows now to sleep through the hurricanes. She's happy and healthy as long as she can sleep through the hurricanes. And she's got, that's my solution. Whenever things get, I just go to bed. I go to bed and I wake up and just deal with it the next day. It's like, is the roof here? You know, do we have power? What's going on? So it's directly across from us, and you can see she's nice and comfortable. She's happy and healthy, and she's not shaken. She hasn't. She's gotten a little scared from some of the noises because it did, like some of that wind did get really, really loud, and it did startle her a little bit. But I think it was more all the weird noises at the doors that she's not used to, because when you have the hurricane, it's like you got a lot of pressure. So sometimes even when your door's shut, you can hear just the pressure slam against the door. And you can feel at other times it's sucking, almost like trying to suck the door out. And you feel like, so the doors are going doo, 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 even inside the locking mechanism. So it's really, it's just something that she hasn't had to deal with before. But it doesn't sound near as close to the weird sounds we heard when they were doing the snake down from the ceiling down. Got to deal with that too. When the hurricane's over with, we still have some plumbing issues to deal with, which sucks. But I've been making it through and doing it again like a champ. So I'm okay. That's the name of the game. I'm okay. So spread the message. I'm still at home. I'm not floating away. I'm not being blown away. I'm comfortable. There's a lot of wind, but not a lot of rain. And so far, no property damage. A couple panels have fallen down that already had fallen down, so it's not a big deal. It's just going back out there and lifting them back up. But other than that, we're good. We're good. And we got a little bit of crime talk in. I will go over just a little bit. Might as well not run off too quickly. Hold on. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. I am laughing my rear end off. GW, okay, nasty, vile content creator on here, always loves to talk about everybody else and how horrible everybody else is. And now I'm hearing rumors of snack bar swindler as dad dealing in stolen merchandise for her? Something I can't stand more than anything in the world is a liar and a thief. Let me say that again. And when you got a daddy and a daughter, I'd say stay away. You cannot trust a thief. You should not blame me for everything. It's insane. OMG. Well, she don't feel bad. Apparently she doesn't like to work for things. She likes to take them. Multiple. I had no idea, but I decided to go look for myself. You know me. I don't like taking other people's work for it. You guys know me, right? You know I don't like taking other people's work for it. Jessica. Jessica. I wouldn't be all over there judging other people. Like, wow. Wow, Jessica. 50, what was it? He swindled like $7,000. And hers was just recent, like 2018. 2018. One of her charges go back all the way to 2008. And that's dealing in the stolen property. These people, I told you, these people are a bunch of criminals with an opinion and a microphone, can't even get a job at the Slurpee counter. Nobody would hire her. She's got sticky fingers. Did you see Jay posting wanting money for the, oh, good gracious. Yeah, she went full cockroach, like just full cockroach. And I hear she's making, like, this is a lady that, and talking about that POS, this is a lady that made her her money by neighbors and others coming forward on her talk show to tell the dirt that they know. And now she's bringing a line to be nasty to a witness that came forward on her ex-boyfriend, her little slobby knobby channel. You know? I keep wondering how many times. Just tell me, Jen, how many times? How many times? That's what I'd like to know. That's my personal business. That's my personal business. But, you know, it still makes me wonder, for a woman that has built her channel on those very nosy neighbors, to put something that disrespectful out on her product line, it just shows you how much she has fallen and how desperate that woman is. And now she's begging for money. Well, I feel bad for her. You know, being dirty, it may help you for a little while, but in the long run, you burn your own bridges by doing it. You know, I'd rather just do it right the first time and not have to worry about all this. You know, 10, 15 years down the road, I don't have to worry about nobody calling me dirty. You know, just saying. All right. Well, I'm never going to be able to watch TV today because my power keeps going in and out. Everything I watch is online. So if I can't get online, or I have to wait 5 minutes for my internet to keep popping up, I'm screwed, right? I'm screwed. Oh, I forgot about my hotspot. Ooh, how do I keep forgetting about the darn little hotspot? That thing is so nifty. And it's fully charged too. And it's power operated. I think I'm going to have to take this. You know, I have all this great equipment. I haven't been out in the field. I use that all the time out in the field. So, ooh, and it sounds like Olivia and I are going to be, at least in the near future, we're going to be collaborating on a new project here soon. So that should be interesting. Honestly, I can't believe how hateful these people are. They're drama. They don't belong in true crime. Okay, these people are not true crime. GW is not true crime. You know what she is? She's a freaking idiot that doesn't get anything right. She's got a big mouth. And she writes checks her ass can't cash. Literally. It's her charges, not mine. I mean, mine were alcohol related. You never heard me say, you never heard them arrest me for stealing nothing from nobody. I don't like liars and I don't like thieves. Just saying. Just saying. All that work she did condemning me, and here she is, can't keep her hands off stuff that doesn't belong to her. That tells you what kind of lady that woman is. And you people need to think who you hanging out with. Because let me tell you, you lay in a, what do they say? You lay in a sandbox, you're going to get dirty. What is it? Tell me what it is. My brain's not working. I got a hurricane sucking the brain cells out. You lay with dogs, you're going to get fleas. You guys know better. Why are you hanging out with trash like that? Why are you listening to trash like that? You should know that she has no education and is not a smart... Actually, that's not true. She actually has a BS. She actually is a smart chick. So obviously, she's got a bachelor's in science degree. And she's sitting on YouTube talking with a filthy mouth. What happened to the job? You got fired for stealing? Were you swindling? Is that why you ain't in your field of choice? Lay with piggies. You get dirty. Oh, dirt in your nose. Oh, you lay with pigs. You get dirt in your nose. I like that. Just lost power. Ugh. Yeah, a degree doesn't make you smart. Well, what was the degree in? What was the degree in? Let's see. And can you believe, like, that lady looks older than that. I thought she was older. You know she's only 35? Girl, you better slow down. That's all I got to say. You better slow your roll. There's not going to be nothing left of you, honey. There's not going to be nothing left. Let's see what we got here. Where's my search? Where are my reports? Oh, I didn't pull a report, did I? Oh, yes, I did. Let's see here. And of course, her the snack bar swindler is listed as a relative. I don't know why I'm tickled pink over that. I'm tickled pink over that. Those in glass houses shouldn't throw the first stone. Might come back and bite you. Might come back and bite you. So it looks like she's got quite a few here. Receiving stolen oh, 2008. Woohoo! Endangering the welfare of children. Parent/guardian/other commits offense. Receiving and stolen property. Receiving and stolen property. Seems like a problem for her there. Those were on the same date. This one was receiving and stolen property. Retail theft. 2009. Retail theft. 2012. Unregistered vehicle. 2016. It looks like the last two are receiving, not receiving and stolen property, but retail theft. Make sure that's right. It's not saying. I think I have to pull that one. I went to the county records and pulled them. Yeah, restrictions by authorities. Oh, and she was on probation for 2 years as well for all of her nonsense. And there's 3 of these filed for restriction by authority. They look like they're almost the same thing, but they're listed 3 different times from June 6, 2022. I wonder what that's all about. June 6, 2022. That's recent. That's real recent. Wow. Wow. The 2008 is the problem one for me. And that's the one where endangering the welfare of children, that's the one I have a problem with. Like, you're on here protecting the bad guys, and here now we know why. You'd have no problem with that type of behavior. It says here, endangering the welfare of children dash parent slash guardian slash other commits offense, and then another charge for receiving stolen property. Wow. And this was criminal traffic. It's first degree misdemeanor. Disposition was withdrawn, so she must have had a plea deal of some sort. I'll have to look at that. Disposition date. It's 2 different counts. Looks like disposition date was January 12, 2009. That's the one that bothers me the most, to be honest with you. So it looks like public records request. You know, those nasty little things that they. I wonder what their videos look like. You know, their arrest videos look like. I bet you they're probably pretty tacky. I bet you they're not near as respectful as me. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Flap your mouth now, Ish. I know. It's funny how that stuff happens. Doesn't mind dragging other people, but I bet you she's going to be crying victim now that she's being bullied after all the nasty crap that comes out of her mouth. Well, I'm happy to help you, Jessica. Sing me a song, why don't ya? Sing me a song, Jessica. Jessica, sing me a song, please. Sing me a song. Jessica? Oh well. Get your big girl panties on, little girl. Get your big girl panties on. All right, guys. Well, that was the fun I got to have, and I still can't get over the snack bar swindler. Struggle day in and day out. You think they take the easy way out and go steal from somebody? No. They work their rear ends off and get the job done the right way. Like I said, you got choices on this platform. You can hang out with a bunch of criminals that do criminal stuff and don't care about doing criminal stuff, or you can be on the right side of things and stop with all the nonsense and drama. Kick the drama community out of true crime. They do not belong here. This channel could be so much more than dealing with all these knuckleheads that are criminals. But I'm not going to have a bunch of felons. Now, she's not a felon that I can see yet. I haven't dug in deep enough. But so far, it looks like she's a misdemeanor. Just one with a bunch of sticky fingers. A bunch of sticky fingers. But it was 13 years ago. Well, Bear, have you changed your life? Are you the same person you were 13 years ago? We're all about redeeming qualities of individuals. I've walked a horrible path myself. But you don't see me doing the shenanigans that I once did today. That's the difference. Okay? That's the difference. Those idiots will only have my past. They can never have my future, and that's what upsets them the most. That's why they're trying to take it. But as they see, I can fight too. But see, I fight clean, and I fight above board, and I fight lawfully. Why? Because we follow the law, Miss Sticky Fingers. When you want a lesson on how to change your life, come on over to the Bullhorn Betty channel. We like sinners over here, but we like sinners with redeeming qualities, not crap qualities. Get your life together. God bless.